All right. Hello, everybody. Um, so I wanted to start a series. It's probably not going to be that good. I noticed in a lot of Darkest Dungeon stuff, especially for Darkest Dungeon 2. It's a lot of people when they make like build guides, they just say, "Yeah, put this character with this character," and like end it at that. And I've been talking with a few friends about some ideas, and one of the ideas that was thrown around is doing on the fly builds. And for that, I mean, we are going to be doing random teams, and I'm going to have to sit there and make a teamwork at random. I'm going to press the random button once. Whatever I get, I have to work with. Something I will be allowing myself to do, I have to fix my audio real quick, is one, since this is like a test trial of the video to see if it'll actually do well, I am going to just do it on denial, and then we'll go through the acts if these videos tend to, I wouldn't say do well per se, but if I have fun doing it, because I'm not doing this for views, I'm gonna get like 2 views, it doesn't matter. We are allowed to rearrange the party, and I can choose any paths. But the 4 champions I get when I press the random button are the champions I have to use for the entire run. And hypothetically, if somebody dies, and I somehow make it to the next inn, I use a random number generator to pick my next champion, my next hero. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna press this button once, and that's the team. That's the party loadout. I'm an idiot. Random party.
Is this fearlessness?
4 frontliners. Alright, this is. Alright, get the clickbait in. So this has to be Sergeant Man-at-Arms. Explanation for choosing Sergeant Man-at-Arms for this specific team. These are all characters that want the front line. Sergeant Man-at-Arms is the best out of all of these options for going rank 4. I'm probably just gonna do Tempest Leper, with the explanation being 2 frontline damage dealers will be great. Because our tank will probably end up being Flagellant. Flagellant's the hard pick here. I think Maniac. The thing that sucks with Flagellant here is not getting more and more. And there's an argument to be made to do this team comp instead. And we run Berserker, actually. Spam if it bleeds with some toe-to-toe and then do bleed out. Is that the play? You know what? Because Ravager Hellions meta, let's do Berserker. I think that'll be fun. And we'll keep Scourge isn't a real path. We'll keep Wanderer for now. Use this build, simple Flage build. I feel bad that like both Flagellant and Duelist, their best paths are Wanderer. Tempest Leper for frontline damage. I'm not going to explain this too much further other than just Tempest does a lot of frontline damage. There's, as mentioned, was an argument to do Poet instead to have more tankiness, but I feel like getting better damage on this team is going to be very important because no damage, minimal damage, and you're just going to be bleeding out the mid ranks. Which I need to make sure to set your skills up. If it bleeds toe-to-toe, breakthrough value. I never use breakthrough, but like, and bloodlust. I think that's the build. Well, we'll keep you as. Oh, I really want to do Maniac, but it's not that great. So Maniac would allow us to put him. So we drop more and more for Lash's gift. This team is taking a while to build. That'll let us drop Breakthrough, thankfully. I'll put on Adrenaline Rush instead. So it will be a lot of, we start with a bunch of if it's bleeds, then we toe-to-toe, then we bleed out. that'll be the short-term team. And what we do with it will be further on. I like the comp we got because it helps sell this series. Because nobody in their right mind would come to this team naturally. So make sure everybody has the proper weapons. I don't mess with their outfits too much. Top comment can... That's not going to be a top comment. I was going to say top comment can suggest other stuff I could add to this challenge. And we will get this on the road. I will show the first act. And then I will stop the recording. I'm going to do this act by act. Except for the...
You came here seeking
Maybe? I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do this. There's also the aspect of I'm going to need to edit this. And I'm not that great at editing per se.
comfort.
Because, like, I know for a fact that, like, if I just posted this unedited, nobody would want to watch it. Because it'd just be boring as crap. But
See, even your valley
the way this team works, simply, is
pain.
a lot of buffs.
In crisis,
Give us some
we
speed.
can rely only upon each other.
Start bleeding out the back ranks. This team has a lot of self-sustain. So, like, honestly, we could probably forego a lot of Flagellant's healing. I didn't put Bash on. Whoops. I accidentally put on Hew. Am I lucky? Nope. Another reason for Maniac is Maniac combos fairly well with Tempest, or with Leper in general, because of him constantly blinding himself. That just lets you be a lot better with your overall damage. We'll start bleeding you out a little bit first. I don't really want to take any needless risks. We'll kill this guy. Crit mattered.
A promising development.
Whew, okay, that's a good crit. That's pure luck. To be fair, this is the first fight. The first fight's never usually that bad. Man-at-Arms just sort of sits pretty here. Sergeant Man-at-Arms is pretty good in my opinion after the rework. I was actually waiting for the rework before I do anything with this team. Or with this concept. Now that is a dead man. Just doing that to ensure the death armor is gone. And what they're going to do is they're going to Filthy Morsel forward and then we hit him. So we're just going to make sure we can keep our guys fairly well healed. Because hitting them doesn't do much. Ooh, sick. Retribution value. I picked the wrong one? Because this is where we toe-to-toe. And if we had another turn, we would, what's it called? Steal the taunt. If we had another turn, then we would bleed out. But we're not at that point yet. Bello lets us have this team that's fairly slow actually keep up with a lot of enemies. Which is why I put it on. I might swap out the shield. I might swap out Defender with something. Bleeding Trinket, eh? Probably you? Because you can heal your own bleeds. You don't care. And you're not getting hit. So probably that. Don't mind me, I hit the desk. I do think this team does have obviously reach problems. We can't hit rank 4 very easily. In fact, honestly, we might drop Acid Rain, despite the fact it is our only... Oh, I didn't set rules for Bounty Hunter. Well, since Bounty Hunter himself is an RNG character, I feel like he's fine to allow... I think we'd swap out Fladge. Yeah. I think that's funny.
One learns quickly when surviving.
So... Upgrades, people. Upgrades. These are all fairly mastery-hungry characters. I feel like If It Bleeds is probably one of the more important ones, because that's our main source of damage next to Chop. But Chop, in its current state, isn't in desperate need of an upgrade. Leper doesn't use too many mastery tokens. He's just a Chad like that. That's why he's one of my favorites. But Bolster for sure. That's our main stress heal. I do know that Command could be pretty good. What else do we have? Stand Fast is interesting. It definitely feels like it's based off of certain, like, you only need it for certain fights. Like, this hard carries Leviathan. Because you just stand fast whoever gets the scene token. Or the eyeball token. Retribution. Probably. In most cases, we're going to have some chip damage. We can keep looking for now. Definitely Undying. Acid Room's kind of tempting. Sepsis doesn't do us much good. Do we have anything that, like, hits the back that does real damage? Not really. We don't... That's the thing. We don't have a lot of blight there. Definitely If It Bleeds. Honestly, we just probably, depending on the area, swap out Leper.
Consider your position.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
We swap Leper out and go to the Tangle. So Leper doesn't particularly struggle with the Tangle per se, but out of all the characters here, he does slightly worse than most damage-wise. Bounty Hunter hard carries the Tangle because of... What's the move called? Just gonna roughly take that off. Always take your trinkets off unless they're character trinkets when you swap out for Bounty Hunter,
There, above
because
the
he would
heart,
lose it.
the
Adrenalizing Ash, that's whatever. But finish him ignoring block tokens are great for the, and executing. It's great for the Tangle. We got crit. Please be crit. Got crit off that. That's nice. 2 more mastery tokens. Retribution. Not more because we won't be able to use it late. Honestly, Bloodlust seems kind of fun. Like, it's Big Brain Breakthrough. They're trying so hard to make Breakthrough usable. It's like, the real thing you could probably do is make Howling End. I think Hellion could potentially do with the rework. Not as urgently as some other characters, though. Like, Runaway needs one desperately. Runaway has one path. We'll do, Blood. No, we're not doing Bloodlust. No, I'm having regrets. Again, Ret. And... I mean, that's a fair bit of healing. I mean, if we think about it this way, that combos pretty consistently with If It Bleeds. So you know what? We'll give that a shot. I rarely upgrade this skill. We do the Tangle.
Mud and rain. Resignation
Now,
is death.
pets for this. We will not be doing any torchlights.
Barren.
As this would indicate, I have used... I have won with all of them. Very proud of this. Took me far longer than I'd like to admit.
Conventional
Not
fare,
doing any torchlights.
but
I will
fairly
not
priced.
use any pets this time around. And I will ask for feedback if you guys think pets would be cool. This is mainly me focusing on getting a random group of champions and making it work. Because I think that's interesting. Or at least more interesting than a lot of stuff I've seen going around. Buy us some snackies. No questions here. Just healing received on the healing guy. And I'm gonna save my baubles because these trinkets kind of suck. And so do these items. If I were using pets, it would be an insta-pick for Strongbox because Orphan Wolf Cub, in my opinion, is the best pet. But, like, pets make these runs kind of boring because then I just have plus 10% relationship chance, which is actually 20% because of how it stacks, which is nuts. So I'm just not going to do that. I will buy whiskey for later and I will hit the road. Saving up some money for when my relationships actually get bad. And so potentially I can do some quirk stuff at the hospitals. This team suffers from a lack of backline damage, but supplementing Bounty Hunter in here helps a lot with that.
Rewards only. Resignation.
We can only use Lash's... Ah, I see a slight problem there. Huh. Noted. I'm not that worried about it. Because, like, if I was really worried about it, what I do is this instead. And drop more for Acid Rain again, and then just swap out No Escape for Uppercut. Which I suppose we can do for now. Bounty Hunter's pretty flexible, and I like that about him. I didn't do a Scout. That's a... Is there a modifier for... No. The Plight is Heat Wave. Which is why naturally I've gotten a terrifying amount of Oblivion Tears. I'm tearing up at the sight of it. Just... More fights equal more good. My recommendation for learning this game is mastery points make you stronger. Learn certain areas and learn how to fight. Road fights are scary a lot of the times. Because road fights can be these guys, and these guys are just an absolute nightmare. Give my front line some regen. Especially with what my current team is trying to do. That's not great. So, like, there's nothing this team can do except try and shoot through the barriers manually. Get some retribution some bellows going for some speed. This is also a very slow team, so bellow helps a lot. Now what that'll let me do is for this turn, I go after him. Yeah, get in there. And what we can do, ouch, that hurt,
For who knows what
is
lies in the
if the
beyond.
speeds line up, which I don't think they will, because that's 8 speed, and you're 6 speed. We could sit there and shuffle them like that. But that's only if we get a speed roll we like. Which isn't very likely. But we can also shuffle them like this. This team gets a fair bit of control, and that's how we have to deal with these fights.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
Thankfully, the team's bulky enough that these fights aren't much of a problem. He's dead at the start of next turn. Get a load of this guy. And actually what we'll do here is that then allows crush value. Wow, we healed for 6. We don't even need the healing. This team's already really tanky. We can hold on to that stuff, but those items aren't particularly useful. The big problem with a lot of those, so like Fishernet's useful for the boss, and I'm going to try to do the rare boss. Denial not having you like be required to do bosses, in my opinion, is kind of dumb, because it lets you just sort of like saunter your way through this game for the first act. And I guess it's supposed to be like, yeah, the first act easy mode. Don't sit there and complain about it. I wish this would remove guard and not just ignore it, because if I pointed at him, it wouldn't work out too well. Stab.
Well done.
Bleed him out. Don't think we don't know how to bleed them out. That's our only way to hit there. We need to kill Bishop first. Bishop's a problem. Speed us up. Bishop's a problem because Bishop's stress. And we have one stress healer, and yeah. Plus Bishop can res, obviously. So we kill Bishop. Maybe even kill one of these guys. Because we want to get Drummer into rank 3. And Drummer grants movement resist buff. But
On to the next.
Drummer himself, or the corpses don't get that buff. We can also just chew through the corpses, of course. Oh no, the bounty. Oh, hits for 2 stress. It's annoying like that.
There is comfort.
Just bolster. Yeah, we get to the parts where like the parts. Very mature. We get to the parts of the fight where like not a lot happens per se. And like I don't want to go quiet because like if I cut out parts of the combat, it's like why people are going to be watching this hopefully
A breakthrough.
is to see how you pilot this team. We are simply doing this to remove... No, we're not doing that. I lied. We're going to gamble and see if we can hit this 10 so we can kill him. We've missed. However, they are on death's door at the start of their next turn anyway. Because we do this. Just to keep giving weakened. Focus firing her is not great. If any character gets too low, I can always defend her. Pretty much Man-at-Arms is just here as support. That's what Sergeant does. I am not the biggest fan of the Man-at-Arms changes because I haven't fully been able to figure out how he ticks per se. I definitely think it's very interesting, and I am so glad. I think Jester, despite how much I think Soloist needs a bit of a buff, it definitely got the better end of things. I'm just realizing I've autopiloted and he's gonna give me a death before dishonor. Rip. That is a way to deal with Drummer, you know? Just tank the stress like a troglodyte. Yeah, the weakness of this team is showing up with the lack of rank 4 reach. Because death before dishonor... We might actually have to run Fester for the corpse removal. Weird. That is ally ahead. Yeah, sounds good to me. What a weird world where I'm gonna get some Fester value. Swap out Sepsis. We can then immediately get rid of that loathing. I do love the new stagecoach, specifically just because of the wheels. This...
Facing oblivion. These folk have
We
kept
already
their
have stuff
honor.
scouted. Hate it when they pick her like that. In items, eh? Well, get some... I've gotten much better than that. And resistance encounter, because we have to get rid of this loathing.
The unknown awaits. Be wary.
And combat. Gaunter, not that manageable because of their stealth unit.
By hopeless.
Yeah, he's getting a hit with that, especially because of where he spawned and his speed. This team struggles, but it is manageable. What we do from here is we kill the second most dangerous thing instead, which is her, because she'll stress us out. And then we Fester. It is so rare for me to get Fester value because it's just not that great. If at 5 stress, then bolster. If not, then bellow or ret. In this case, I'd say bellow. Because the boy will still probably... I was wrong. He did not outspeed. I feel like a fool. Heal you up. Knock some sense into you. Bleed you out. If 5 stress, then bolster, though I'm gonna get hit with more stress. Hopefully be on Flagellan? Figured. 4 stress in 1 move. Scary. We don't care about Bounty Hunter getting too stressed, since he doesn't have relationships. He's too much of a Sigma male. As I Sigma balls in your mouth.
And wanes.
It's not full. I'm sorry. And you're dead.
An unavoidable end.
Get back here. That's... I wasn't going to sit here and stall for 2 turns for some stress heal. Let's hope we can
Difference.
deal with it at the fight. The resistance encounter. What did we get? If it bleeds... Well... Hey! If it bleeds, does 2 extra bleed. I like it. RNG. Of course, you could always win with the random team by being lucky. I feel like a snobbish asshole for that. But that is a great find for the build we have done. Formations all. Go on, bark your orders. Now, we have that problem again. Arbalest, then Drummer, because we literally can't hit Drummer. Like, we can hit him with Come Hither, but that would take too many. I don't have that type of patience. A bit wasteful of the bleed damage, but doesn't matter too much. Get some armor going. You're gonna be the 2 stress pip again? Nope, okay, fine. Merciful. Hellion here is honestly one of our tankiest units, obviously. With the tankiest being Flage, just because Flagellant is immortal. I don't know what you want from me. That is a 6 bleed. That is not anything to sneeze at. Fester value.
Malaise.
Fester, I hardly know her.
And
That's great. We want him to be in a position to tank. Because, as mentioned, he's kind of immortal. Not in his current position, sadly, but he is definitely our tankiness. Solely because most of his kit. I love Flagellant in this game. I'd argue he's only slightly better than original. The problem with OG1 is you basically only had 5 moves to choose from. And if you didn't choose those, you were just misplaying. Bit of a low roll. Come on, little bastard, bleed out. And then... Nice crit. From here, we just keep stress healing. Oh no. Anyways. Thankfully, we have... We have successfully dealt with this spot. We get a little torch going. Do that. Speed him up.
empowered, emboldened.
There's an argument to be made for using that. And by that, I mean the Laudum. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, it definitely feels like Fester has made this teamwork so much better.
Some of these well-worn
Give
relics.
you that for now, since you cleave the most.
The loathing abates.
We don't care that much about the armor, and that is too much loathing. Now, the lair fight's not that great. Wait, no, it is fine, honestly. It's fine because we spam if it bleeds for 6 bleed a turn. Let's do this. Now, this is somewhat... just Good luck. Nowhere to run, Spitling. Sounds like a slur. Acid Rain, because weakened is the only way to affect Arbalest's damage output back there, because Piercing Bolt pierces block tokens. As the name would imply, Piercing Bolt pierces. It's a bit wasteful, but that allows Fladge to do his thing. Bellow, and then we'll bolster next turn. Please miss. Thank you. Bit suck. It kind of sucks the way our speed has rolled out. We do want to get rid of Nervous. Howsoever, it's not the worst thing in the world. Dang, just... That's fine. That's also fine. That's why I don't run that. But that now makes it so... Of course, that's always what happens. We can stall for a couple turns. Now that makes it that Man-at-Arms is immune to getting hit, because literally nobody can hit him in this comp in its current position. They'll be dead soon. Just gonna... not letting him do anything else. Like a big cringe in it. Guard you just in case. Farming pips is pretty nice. We don't have any negative tokens actually. We might need to drop. Dang it. We need to drop Flash's gift. Well, there goes the stress heal idea. Now this team, thankfully, is more than capable of tanking a lot of these incidents. Now, if I wanted to
The spoils, an
healing
artifact of
given,
unparalleled power.
honestly, dropping Acid Rain for Deathless is pretty good, and then we suppose on you.
This is a den of absolute evil and wretchedness. Prepare yourself.
I am most certainly prepared. We actually aren't even really using Bleed Out, so we'll do that instead. Like, there's also an argument to be made to also drop Toe-to-Toe for something. I don't know what, though. She's in rank 2, so she could use a couple. Big Brain, he's howling, yeah. No. It's probably still... No, we can't really afford to keep Toe-to-Toe. Howling End. Now, keep Bleed Out on. Just in case we somehow get shuffled, we can deal with being in rank 1. Because she can't move back. That's her problem. Howling End is her only way to move
A
backwards.
general and his lumbering
We kill rank 3 first, and then... we kill... Actually, what we'll do here is this. Excuse me.
a simple kind.
Because that'll force them into shambling thrust spam, which is great for us. Pain.
For who knows what lurks in the beyond.
What a dong. Shambling thrust being their repo move, which just doesn't do anything. Time for you to be punished. Collect that bounty into ifing they bleed. Big Brain, that'll grant a crit token, I think. Yeah! What we could do... That's why you keep Toe-to-Toe, actually. Toe-to-Toe grants negative tokens. Perhaps I should not have altered it to 2. Doesn't use my crit token. wish it did. In this very weird instance.
A petty hindrance.
Farm pips, maybe? Nope. But that's something we should probably be doing more of, is defending, because he's actually quite weak because we can't generate negative tokens. I was slightly wrong. It is a pleasant surprise to be wrong in this game. Not to sound narcissistic. Now that makes stuff fun. Because that wastes a couple of
Slow
turns.
dissection. An unavoidable.
Now what if? Not run that risk. Keep him covered. Just lead him out. She takes it pretty well. And now this is time to just kill him. Just
And steady.
me when I get you. They're already gone. Oh, barely not at the threshold for crits. Now they're just shuffling. Every day they shuffling.
A resounding response.
Because we need heals.
They falter. So press your advance.
We are probably... Oh, we need the Veek out. And General's Dream's pretty good. Kinda. It gives us a better way to farm tokens. In a moment I'll explain later. We take this. And what we do is we turn one pass with Fladge. It could sound so dumb. But we need him to be in good health. So...
Has retreated. Undying. Into a demon. And
I should
there
probably
you
turn up
must
the game
stay.
sound. Worst case scenario, I'm always up to like scrap audio if like stuff isn't good. Mark this bitch for death. Crit 14,
Strength
pretty good.
dwindles.
I mean, if that's gonna be how we roll, we do this. Because he's not at the threshold to be able to pass to help heal. Blasphemous Idol, that's a good roll. Don't like that. But we do that so she doesn't have to worry as much about her heals. And we can just hard commit to damage. And we hit the root through Come Hither and Acid Rain. We also have Toxic Ichor, but this turn we'll just Acid Rain because we're not at low enough health for it to be a real threat. Now, potentially in the future, we will need to not let that happen. That's a pretty good roll, things considered. We just bolstered here. Especially with the way that's panning out. Now, it's going to be an Unsettling Whisper to get rid of Block Plus, which isn't that great. We keep beating up Taproot. This fight requires you to hit rank 4. And whilst we may not have rank 4 damage, we do have the reach to actually hit rank 4. We just don't hit it very hard, is our problem.
And steady.
What's 10% of his health? 5 damage. He can take 5 damage. I have to constantly do that quick math in my head to make sure I'm not about to kill him. No pips? Dang. Selfish over here. He doesn't want to be protected, apparently. Just gonna bleach you out, friends. How's it feel? Blasphemous Idol is proccing way too much, man. I'm getting stupid lucky. I shouldn't be getting this lucky. I'm gonna get party wiped to like a random collector after this. That's how that works in this game for me. this how risky we feel. We could roll them dice. I feel like rolling some dice. He has like a bunch of block tokens. He won't die. He'll go in Death's Door though, which is a bit of stress. A wee bit stressed in it. We just, yeah, we do that. That's why I bought those, because we don't have any dot removal besides Dread and Rush. We don't care if he melts down, because he's not a real person. He's a bounty hunter. What is my purpose? You die for 4 candles. Oh, God. Yeah. See, we're fine. Everybody's fine. One more turn, and he'll be dead. Adrenalizing Ash. And from here, Soil Stirs. Literally doesn't matter. That actually helps, because that crit token I think will heal. We'll do that.
Excellent work.
I was wrong. It was going to be used there. Of course.
Foothold out of this mine.
I did not know.
Now climb.
But this is the last turn. And if we don't hit that again... No, it already has 3 tokens, so it will be doing the thing. So we'll just hit with that. If we high rolled, we would have been a pretty solid spot.
And win.
Still alive. Now do you melt them? Come on. That's coming out of your pay. You don't get to cry on shift. No. You got a meltdown. You have to pretend to be edgy. You're crying on the clock. We don't allow that here. Like, that is coming out of your pay. Oh, that's not the one we wanted to get healed. Yeah, we're fine. Just get lucky. That was a slightly needless risk. We shouldn't have hit with Bounty Hunter. I low rolled, so it did not pan out very well. But all is well that ends well. Can you finally have a relationship pit? Nope, not at all. What we'll actually do here is Undying for a little bit of health. And then, yeah. Actually, did anybody have the goal? No. I should probably check my goals, even though I have everything unlocked. Because, like, you can get hero items and or hero trinkets. And that's Readout, one of the best trinkets in the game. Problem with it is that nobody here has 2 speed right now. Once Leopard gets back, it'll be his. For now, you can hold on to it. Combat start allies behind. Yep, that seems good to me. And you're not going first anyway, because this team is very slow. That is one thing about this team that makes it quite good. One more fight, and then we go to the rampart. And that's when I will cut the video. Because I have plans with friends. But I'm hoping that this guide... Not guide per se, but this series of rando team building is something that piques anybody's interests. Because I think it's a great way to test your skill in this fairly interesting game.
Malaise. Measure.
That hurts. Thankfully, she won't die. Drummer does give us fuel for Lash's gift at least. Oh, alright game. I see you. Drummer doesn't do damage anymore. I'm so glad they changed that. Wow, you really just wanted to melt down, huh? I wish that removed block, but I understand why it doesn't. That'd be kind of busted. What we do from here is... we ignore it like a champ, and we just... Nah, we Revelry, actually. Because that's 4 stress healed. And then we guard. That is what we do like a champ, because... Man-at-Arms now has that, so we want him to get hit, actually. because that's going to deal a bunch of damage and potentially give him an extra turn. And we can more than happily take that pain. Leave that poor buddy out. That hitting like that isn't that great. Oh, Defender has a cooldown now. I did not know that. I don't tend to need to use it that much. Sound not egotistical challenge, impossible difficulty. Yeah, very interesting. We Undying here. So, depending on how speed rolls out, there's only one damage dealer here. And thankfully, they did not get their real turn. Man, the game has just decided that she suffers. Just farm pips, that's the plan, totally. This is an experiment. Will it be able to be moved if it becomes a corpse during this? I think it can. Yes! Because it loses the 200% move buff. That is such an interesting find. Keep her stress up. Or down, in this case. We wanted to keep the stress down. Uh-oh. We don't want to actually kill. We do this. Because we want to be able to hit you. Patch up our recruits. Take it like a champ man-at-arms. Come on, get that bonus turn. Completely clear that you don't. That's RNG. 1 damage. That's all I need. That's honestly kind of funny. For Chunk. And now the tankiness comes back. And we just block. And last, and certainly not least, you keep getting crits from Armorsmith and Blasphemous Idol. This fight would not have been nearly as easy without those crits. I need to give that credit. Bloodied Branch didn't get too much value, but it was still useful. And now we have the Cultist fight. Okay, again.
Unparalleled power.
Do we rework your skills? Yeah, we swap out Acid. We also give you this. We don't want to give you Redoubt, though, because we want you to have it for the sake of just spamming a lot of these skills. Honestly, we probably swap out to Crush at some point. Not yet, though. We still need like the bit of like burst damage. But drop Acid Rain for, I think, Sepsis. Because these guys are going to give us a bunch of debuffs. They're going to give us Blind. They're going to give us Weakened. We should prepare for that. We'll have that for now. I'm the type of person where I need my skills to be specifically in the order they appear. Like, a lot of people find the quality of life thing where like, oh yeah, you can choose the skill order however you want. And I think that's great for most people. I need it to be in this typically a specific order, unless it's like, oh yeah, I only use this skill like after a bunch of stuff, like Encore on Virtuoso Jester. But Cultist fight. Denial has my second least favorite effect. My least favorite forever will be Obsession's insane taunt stun. We have not missed a Bloody Branch proc. By the way, it's 2/3. So there is like a legit chance you just miss it. Our crit chance is insane. I just put the camera on and I just get obscenely lucky, huh? Is that how this works? Wait a minute, you don't get to do the altar bow. Now that's bullying. Retribution! And whoever gets beat up too hard will defend her. Except Bounty Hunter, because he's not a real person. Like, we don't care about it. It'll probably be her again. Yeah. Just bullying. This is not fair. Get him. They posted cringe on main. And you just killed yourself. Now this crit is gonna hurt. Well, the reason we have Redoubt on Man-at-Arms, despite the fact he's not blocking for nearly as much as we'd like, is because his Bellow buff does not affect him. So everyone else gets the speed buff, but he doesn't. That is why we trinketed that way. That's useful. That Cherub is dead. And we just finish. And that will be this region. Now, sadly, we didn't get to use Leper all, and this team would be a lot worse with Leper involved, in my humble opinion. But we will save that for next act. I will be doing all the in stuff off camera, because, in my opinion, it's really boring. I will just post an image of the in buffs for those who care. I should also note, this is an unmodded run, because I know for a fact if I go too deep into the mod rabbit hole, I won't be able to leave. Because I have an addiction to modding games to be beyond recognition. But
The roaring heart
let's see what... Oh, we have Keening level. I'll be good.
Even more, perhaps, for the
Yeah,
restless soul.
these are... Marger's not that great. Stress Knitter's interesting. Photomaniac's great. And Fanaticator's mid. In the light. Whoa. 100-some relics, huh? Thank you all for allowing this little kid to ramble about his favorite game. And I will see you all in the next video, hopefully. Assuming I upload this. Bye.